if they have one. As nobody else on their team scales particularly well into the late game. Windrunner decent. Venge, we've seen some teams, particularly Navi, try to run that semi-carry Venge, but it's normally not the most effective thing in the world, and I don't think those heroes are going to out-carry Syllabear, or maybe even Queen of Pain in the late game, assuming they get a decent start.
Yeah, so we're judging from the lanes and heroes. We know Enigma's going to take a lane. I wonder if it's going to be solo bot or solo mid. Not the worst solo mid, actually, Enigma.
I think he has to be bottom because Kunkka is not the best lane controller. I mean, he can.
Well, Kunkka's going to go top for sure. I'm just wondering who's going to take mid. Is it going to be the Windrunner or is it going to be Enigma? And I think both of them are fine in either case.
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure how I feel about this Kunkka pick, just in terms of the laning stage, because he doesn't offer you that much. And if you can't dominate the lanes early against a Syllabear, a Queen of Pain, even a Puck, a lot of these heroes who, if they get a good start, are very difficult to deal with. I don't think you're going to be able to deal with them in the mid game. So I think the wild card here, of course, as it usually is, will be that Chen. If he's able to get some effective ganks and pushes off early on, it's going to slowly tighten the noose for Dignitas, and they're going to have a little bit more trouble getting the farm and getting the levels. But if he's not able to do that, I'm not sure if they're going to be successful. 5 heroes heading top for the Dire. I would say we should introduce the players, but they're all kind of using Smurfs here. Smiley Face on the Kunkka, TTJDN on the Enigma, Off Ak on the Vengeful Spear, Kranich on the Windrunner, and Lasek on the Chen. All 5 heroes headed up to the top lane, looking to prevent any sort of wards. Maybe looking to pick a fight here, but they're not going to find anyone.
Meanwhile, on the Radiant side here, not a Hex playing that Puck here. Back in the mid lane is going to be Leon playing the Queen of Pain. Zhao playing the support Ancient Apparition. Come with me playing the Syllabear. And then we have Coco playing the TIE Hunter. Yeah, there's going to be a tri-lane here. The Ancient Apparition plus TIE Hunter. The gush into a Vortex. Excuse me, gush into a Cold Feet. Unfortunately, I mean, depending how the movement speed is on the other side, they can actually walk out of that combo easily. And there's actually no stuns here until Syllabear hits level 5, and even so, that's a stun that you can't really depend on. So, Quelling Blade is up on the bear, so in fact he is going to be looking to get farm, and protect the farm he will get, because it's a tri-lane against nobody. It's a tri-lane, no actually...
We are going to see Enigma heading
back. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I got excited for a bit.
He went mid to deny creep, not using the Eidolons for anything, just going to leave them back there. This is going to mean that his own lane pushes out a little bit more.
Well, I mean, he realized he's not going to get any farm anyways. Even if he denies, the Radiant could deny 4 creeps at a time by doing double pulls.
I think Enigma might be in some trouble. He's going to be able to get out of this most likely, but he's not going to get any levels or farm. Honestly, he should probably think about going to the jungle or doing some pulling. He doesn't even really have the mana to support deny, and he's got the clarities. He can do it a couple of times, but an Enigma with no items and no levels is pretty useless.
I mean, to be honest, I think this is okay because Enigma is a hero losing EXP, but TIE Hunter and Zhao, they're not getting any EXP themselves, so it's trading 2 for 1 at this point if you want to just count the numbers. And I think that might be, in broad theory, that might be okay for the Dire, or for the Radiant, yeah, for the Dire, but of course, Come With Me is also getting absolute free farm. That's in also the other parts of it.
Yeah, and that's the scary thing about this this whole arrangement is a Syllabear getting free farm, normally getting Rush or Radiance. We'll probably see him pick up the phase boots on the Bear and then straight into Radiance. Of course, that depends if he gets ganked or not in the mid game. But if you leave him alone, he's not going to feel a need to go for defensive or cheaper items. In terms of the middle lane, we have a Queen of Pain versus a Windrunner. It looks like Windrunner's getting the edge here. Queen of Pain going to be running top, blinking aggressively towards this regen, but Kranich is going to zone him out. That's a pretty big loss for Leon. He's forced to pop that salve. He's missing some creeps in the lane. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but he's definitely getting out harassed here early on.
Yeah, it's going to be a Bottle Rush kind of game for either player, and I wonder whether it's going to be a Bottle Crow. I think Bottle Crow in this case would be really, really good against either player, because both heroes in this lane depends on out-nuking the enemy team, trying to control that way. You're not going to kill them in one single burst. And in this instance, having the ability to Bottle Crow means that you're constantly ahead in terms of mana and HP. And Pinoy's got it calculated down to the numbers in terms of having these mid lane shut down.
There's going to be a haster in bottom. 2 smoked up Radiant here is going to be heading mid. Looks like we might see a first blood attempt here in Kranich. He doesn't seem to know it's coming. I'm not sure if he's going to spot this Tidehunter in time. Tide sitting just outside of that smoke of the sea reveal range.
Did he pick it up under smoke? Oh, that might be it. Trying to get some block here. Just get a right click
Nice
in.
hero block.
Oh, Shaco shot on 2, and that's gonna save. Yes, blink on cooldown because it's a very low level blink. Man, Shaco shot best spell in the game. You heard it from me.
Yeah, that was only a level 1 shackle
Yep.
shot too, so that's pretty crazy. Of course, Kunkka is getting some free farm in the top lane, so not a bad trade-off for the Syllabear, but I would not look to Kunkka to outcarry the Syllabear later on.
Oh, Kunkka definitely gives you a lot more burst damage early on, so that's the added benefit of having a Kunkka. And also, he's a great pusher because the Tidebringer is a great spell. Chen's gonna try to block off the creep wave. No, he's just no idea what he's trying to do here. I don't think this tower is going to get pushed down. Unfortunately, no Ring of Besays here. The tier is going to help out a little bit, but Puck getting some EXP. It looks like Ancient Apparition is going to come around and help out here as well. Ancient Apparition, not the best hero to help out in a counter push situation. Ooh, actually, Tidehunter comes in as well. Unfortunately, all the Dire heroes get back just in time, so no death here. So it's going to be a tri-lane shifted to the top. And that's not going to help out the Puck, who's at level 2 at this point. He's not going to get any XP.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Enigma is getting some levels on the bottom lane. Leave him alone. He's not going to outlane the Syllabear necessarily, but he'll certainly get some levels as well as some farm. Syllabear is going to be mostly focused on his own last hitting. Very aggressive wards here.
For the mid lane. Kranich he's just one scream of pain away from death.
Leon had it, but didn't have the vision, so didn't feel comfortable taking a guess. Could have screamed and gotten him through the fog.
Is he going to get sent home by the Chen? No, it looks like he's going to just walk all the way back home. Come on.
Maybe you're going to do some
bottle
crow.
Yeah, bottle crow.
No, just going to bottle. There is a rune top, but is being babysat by a Tidehunter, so I don't think he's getting that one.
Yeah, so this mid lane is kind of odd. There's definitely a lot more hero movement than actually creep killing. And it's hard to say who actually have the advantage in this case. I guess it still goes to the Dire for the fact that he did survive the gank. And he's still farming a little bit better, it seems like. And now
well, I think you made a great point earlier that these roamers are really leeching EXP from the solo lanes, whereas Chen is getting his own experience. And for the Dire, they're doing a bunch of pulling, so Venge is not really leeching as much. So I think the Dire is definitely getting the edge here in terms of the levels. Now, whether that's going to be enough of an advantage to make up for the Syllabear remains to be seen.
I do believe it's enough level, because if you look at the support here on the Dire side, both of them need a level 6 like no other. Tidehunter is not a hero without level 6, and same thing with Ancient Apparition. So they need to find that level 6 somewhere. Unfortunately, I don't know where the hell they're gonna find it because none of the lanes will give it to them. Meanwhile, Chen and Venge, I mean, they're also better with level 6, but they're still a very decent hero. Like Vengeful Spirit, a stun is a stun, and Chen is a creep is a creep. So you know.
Yeah, I think it's looking decent for the Dire. The key is going to be in probably the next few minutes. Can they find an opportunity to get a hero kill or just group up with Chen creeps once he hits level 5 and push a lane? Like you mentioned, Kunkka, pretty decent pushing here. He is maxing Tidebringer first. So pretty standard build. Normally you look to max the Tidebringer and the Torrent and then get at least 2 levels next mark to the spot to set up your Torrents.
Yeah, pretty tame games. Nightfall is going to happen right now and no deaths so far.
Oh, Enigma running into Ancient Apparition, but it looks like that's just going to end up saving him. Kind of a misplay there, I want to say. Radiant really not on the same page, but they should be able to get this tier 1 bottom unless there's some TP support.
Yep, tower is going to go down. I don't think anyone's going to TP into this mess. Enigma's going to try to get something going, but I don't think it's going to work out. Tower is focusing on Coco. That is going to help.
You don't actually have to run out of the tower range. You can just A-click on one of your full HP allied creeps to remove the tower aggro, but either way, no big deal. He is going to be able to bring this tower down with the Syllabear. Let's see if Syllabear is able to get the last hit. That would be a really quick start for him.
Yeah, that's close.
Almost messed it up, but in the end is able to get it. Meanwhile, Dire trying to respond with a push top. Coco definitely too low to TP into that, so it looks like they might just continue pushing bottom. Or just forfeit the tower. It's pretty much dead at this point.
Yep. So what you expect, both teams trade towers here. Not somehow actually got up to level 5 and a boost of speed. So despite what was thrown against him, he's actually doing okay. Kunkka no X marks the spot, which is completely standard by the way. Although if you do pick up early levels of X, you could get very easy kills against like a solo Puck in this case. Yeah, he's taking Tidehunter, or excuse me, Tidebringer as it goes.
Yeah, you don't need it. The one thing it would be good for is it gives you a more initiation range, especially before Venge hits level 6. But of course, her stun does set up the Torrent pretty nicely. So in that respect, it's not that necessary. But it certainly would be helpful. I would expect to see him get it after he maxes torrent.
Yep. Meanwhile, you hear the dire support are smoked up, and they're looking maybe for a gank on Leon. Let's see if Winner could bait out that blink. Or are they going to make a huge dive the other way? Here comes Coco. He is spotted. We're going to have a net, and Magic Missile will not get in the range. 500 cast range is that Magic Missile. One of the lower casting range of the stuns. Coco decides to come around, looking for more.
This might be a blunder by him, although he's got some support from Queen of Pain. Venge a little bit out of position here. Getting sent back by Chen. Probably going to be going down. Actually, no, they're going to give up on him as soon as they see he's being sent back.
Yep.
Heading out for the Chen instead. But he does have boots, so I think he'll be able to live.
Chen is going to walk out. 8 minutes, 0 kills. Are we watching a European game? Yes, we are. Just making sure.
Feels like Chinese Dota.
Yep.
So maybe these teams have been scrimming against some Chinese teams.
And again, level 6 ultimate not being picked up on Lundry. Is this the build? I just... maybe it's just me that's not understanding how to play Celebrate properly, but 250 HP is just too good to pass up in my opinion.
Well, I would certainly like to see him get it after he maxes the Spirit Bear and the Synergy. I don't think Rabbit is worth getting first, especially when you're planning on having big team fights. Yes, you can kite your opponents a little more effectively by within the range for him, but if you ever get caught out by any disables, you are going to drop. He's only sitting on 750 health. He's sitting on 2.4k. So at this rate, I think we could see a Relic in, what, maybe 4 minutes here or so, maybe 5 minutes, assuming he doesn't get ganked.
Which is that's a big if, yeah.
A big if. There are 2 heroes in the bottom lane now. Looks like Venge trying to set something up. Not level 6, though. And I really don't think they're going to be able to bring him down without it. Although Enigma
does have black hole. I think they can do it, especially when he has Eidolons. Yeah, look, they are making it go right now. They have to use a black hole for Magic Missile and a black hole. The bear not going to get entangled off, and that's why you want level 6 ultimate. I don't think he might have not. He might actually survive that, to be honest.
I think he would have lived, and even if he didn't live, it would have given his team enough time to come and at least get some retaliation kills. Of course, every second that the Syllabear hero is alive, the bear is wailing away on the enemy, and even without too many items, the bear hits quite hard.
For the chance of that proc as well, so.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting he did not go for phase boots on the bear. I think even if you're rushing the relic, the phase boots are totally worth it. It helps you last steady a lot, and also makes it impossible for enemy heroes to sit in lane against you. Even strong laning heroes like a Windrunner have to be very careful, because if they ever get entangled, if they don't die, they're at least going to have to run back to Fountain.
Yep. And the bear is, you know, quite easily able to trade hits with creeps, you know. Your bear hits their hero and the creeps hits your bear, you don't really care about that. Meanwhile, he is going to be doing a lot more lasting. The problem with Syllabear that's dying a lot is that your bear is constantly on cooldown. That doesn't help at all. You lose a lot of lasting ability, and the fact that if they gank you, you have no friends to kind of, you know, get you that entangle. But meanwhile, Kunkka is still free farming on the top lane. He's got the face finish, he's got the urn finish, and that's a quarterstaff.
Queen of Pain going to get caught out here. Nice chain stun from the Dire. He's going to go down, but retaliation kill coming out on the Enigma. Kranich on the run. Looks like he's going to be able to get away. Not a Hex, in a little bit of trouble. Coco not level 6. No Ravage for him. Lasek continuing to run. Going to send the Windrunner back. Windrunner going to charge in. A lot of kills coming out for the Radiant. Great Ghost Ship going to hit the Tidehunter. Not going to be enough, though. We are going to see Puck drop. I think Tidehunter might live. No mana for Torrent. He is going to be salving up, so a lot of aggression. In the end, it's a 3 for 3. I actually thought the Dire were going to get the better of that fight. But Chen, still not level 6, not able to drop that ultimate. Same for Tide. Either of those ultimates would have completely changed that fight. And I'm surprised that the Chen is not level 6. He has been pushing a decent amount. But 11 minutes in, normally a Chen who's not being ganked or being really aggressive or greedy should be able to get that ultimate up.
Yeah, and that team fight, I think, even though like the kills were very even, I think more importantly, it was the supports on the Radiant side got a whole bunch of EXP, like the Ancient Aberration, just a 10 CP from level 6, and Tidehunter a level from level 6. So once they pick it up, they are legitimate heroes at that point, and that would make the you know, team fights afterwards even more difficult. And they're gonna try to use Syllabear as a bait here, or maybe even set up a gank. But again, there's really no stun here to really stop Enigma from running. There is a slow.
I think this Enigma might be dead. He doesn't have the black hole.
Tango procs. Yeah, it's just...
Face boots would be pretty good there. Zizo might go down to the tower. He is going to drop, but Vengeful Spirit's TPing into the Syllabear. Not sure that was a great choice. I think that was a gush on a creep by accident there. No, actually, I'm not sure. I think it might have been. Either way, Syllabear diving the 3rd tier tower is going to be backing off. Tidehunter's still not level 6. Honestly, at this point, I think he needs to go pull a camp or something. because they would be winning all these engagements with that Ravage.
If they had the Ravage, yep, and now it looks like the Enigma is chasing. He does have the Arcane Boots, and there's a silence on Coco. Coco trying to do something right now. The bear is entangling on Lasek. He's going to go down. Windrunner picks up yet another kill. And
lucky regen rune for Come With Me there, and really nice entangle timing, because otherwise Chen would have cancelled it.
But I mean, I don't think he would have died either case. But the most important thing in that last engagement was that both Ancient Apparition and Tidehunter just went down. So that kind of, nullified whatever level advantage they had against the enemy supports here. Leon, the mid lane as well, has been dying. And now is forced to pick up a strength threats. Generally you want to leave down intelligence if you're doing very well. But that's not really what Leon's doing. Leon's 0-2-1, 52 creep kill in 13 minutes. Not the most exemplary.
Top lane, Kunkka getting caught out by Cold Feet plus Puck Ultimate. It's a nice torrent there.
Did you see that torrent? That was like completely not even on the Puck. He's like, just throw it on myself. He knew the Puck was coming in. A good display of skill, but unfortunately it didn't matter at all.
Yeah, Kunkka very reliant on comboing with allied heroes. Normally not able to get solo kills unless he gets really fed. Looks like he's going to be going for a quick Lothar's, or I believe Shadow Blade is how it's called in Dota 2. So it'll be decent because it does stack with his Tidebringer, so he'll hit a little bit harder. And of course it helps him with positioning. But not the best escape mechanism, because once your opponents know that you have it, they will normally buy Dust and Wards, but it does make you move a little faster. It's a pretty standard pickup on the Kunkka, but it does mean he's not going for a Battle Fury or any sort of pub-style farming build. It's looking to be more aggressive, which I think is a smart choice.
Here's me hoping that it could be a 4-staff, but Anyways,
yeah, that definitely could be.
I mean, it's always a good item. By the way, Tidehunter has like 1 level of Gush, 3 level Anchor Smash, so definitely not the standard Tidehunter build. Not sure why he went for this build like this. I mean, I haven't seen him actually go into melee range a lot to actually do that big Anchor Smash damage. So, I'm like confused about that.
Well, one thing it does is it makes the Chen creeps hit a lot. They don't hit as hard when he's up near them in the Anchor Smashes, but and I guess the Eidolons as well, it reduces their damage. Normally you would see Anchor Smash if you're up against something like a Broodmother. Someone who's spawning a ton of minions and you need a way to clear them quickly.
Also want to point out...
a couple here smoked up by them.
Yeah, I also want to point out Kunkka's skill build here has actually put 2 point into X and then left Torrent at level 3. I like this build a lot here, but it looks like we're going to have a dive. Tidehunter does have Ravage here, and let's see if he's going to pop it right now for... there's a Hand of God coming in right now. They're going to use every ultimate just for that Enigma. They are going to bring him down, but here comes Vengeful Spirit and the Windrunner. They are going to dodge the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast here. Now the bear is very low HP. He's going to be fine here. Swap goes back here. Going to go for a kill here. No, he's going to just go for the run, but the bear is chasing now. Don't block the bear, Coco. He's running a lot faster. Here comes the big bow, and that's going to hit Zizao on the face. They're not going to go for Zizao here. Do we have the X? He does have mana for X. He's going to use Erd and the Tidebringer Slash for the kill. Still has mana for the X. Is he going to go for it? Is he going to go for it? No, looks like Tidehunter's going to walk out. Here comes Queen of Pain. Gets X him, don't let him blink, X him, X for the love of God, X his. Okay.
Oh, she's so low. Oh, the shackle's gonna hit. I think that's the Queen of Pain. It is. Meanwhile, the chase continues on Puck. Puck gonna be able to fade shift and orb out, but Windrunner continuing to chase. No 4-staff yet. Torrent's gonna miss. I don't think it matters though. This Puck going down to the power shot. Really greedy play by the Radiant, I have to say, and I'm not. I have no idea why Puck and Tidehunter both dropped their ultimates on the Enigma. He was definitely dead with just one, so big miscommunication. Ends up costing them a lot. I believe if they had saved the Ravage, they could have at least survived, if not gotten more kills there.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
10-5.
I'm not too sure whether dropping the ultimate on the Enigma was the best choice, but I definitely could understand why they did it. Like, if Enigma somehow to turn around and drop off that black hole, that would have went even worse. So I mean, I definitely see the point of view, but hindsight's 20/20, and didn't work out there. And smiley face, why you know X? You skill X and you miss Torrents instead. That's cool.
Well, he is going to end up going for the Lothar, so my first correct prediction of the day. Feeling pretty good about that. Tier 1 tower is going to go down mid. This gives the Dire a lot of map control. With the Chen as well as the Vengeful Spirit, I believe they could even go for a Roshan attempt. They do have the ward up as well.
Yep, they
Let's see if they're going to do that or maybe push bottom lane.
They definitely have Eidolon damage. They have the minus armor from the Venge. They have a lot of physical DPS output, but looks like they're going to look for the bot tower, as you pointed out. Windrunner does have the 4-staff finish, not being brought up to her just yet. And then when Black Hole is on cooldown and Arcane Boots is going to be ready in a couple of seconds. So I think this tier 2 tower is going to go down. Right now, Epidemic is showing Dignitas a clinic. They're pushing down towers or winning team fights, and I don't really know how Dignitas is going to make a comeback. They have really good team fight, and they have to Roma's 5. Here
Radiant's
comes both.
going in before the Ravage is up, though. This might be a mistake. Ravage still down. Black Hole comes out. Is Tidehunter going to go down before he's able to drop it? 6 seconds to go. It looks like he's still tanking it up. Prop still alive. Might be able to pick up a kill here. Vengeful Spirit with another clutch swap. Does not want that Ravage to go, but it does. Looks like Windrunner going to be the next to follow. Kratos still alive. Syllabear doing all sorts of work. Kratos going to try to TP out in the face of the bear. Honka probably going to be the one to drop here. Honka is going to go down. No Lothars to get away there. Man, that rat.
Okay, we are watching a European game. This is more like a 9-12 in favor of Epidemic Steel, and I think I spoke too soon about putting on the clinic because, I mean, Dignitas just came back with that team fight. They could actually deny the spot tower if they, no, actually a little bit outside deny range. Ancient Aberration Ice Blast coming on the mid lane to clean up a couple of Creep Wave, and Ancient Aberration level 8, Tidehunter level 7 as well. After they hit 6 is not the biggest deal, but if they ever hit a level 11, that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, of course, Queen of Pain is does have her level 2 ultimate, which is going to be quite important. While Chen has his, and it's a decent way to help remove some of that damage that the Radiant AoE heroes dish out. By itself, it's not really going to be enough, especially when he's so squishy. They can bring him down before he's able to drop anything if they time things right. Looks like Queen of Pain might be in some trouble. We're going to see X being a good counter to him, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, completely melts. No way for him to escape.
It looks like if you look at the hero, or excuse me, the item progression here on the Dire side, they're getting a lot of items that are actually helpful in team fights. We see the drums, we see a lot of aura, like Force Staff, Mecha. These are big items when it comes to team fight. So they're going to try to counteract the big team fight potential of the Radiant side. And also you got to keep in mind the Radiant's team fight, they are cooldown dependent. So they actually can't do it all the time. Here comes Tidehunter, a little bit spotted. Are they going to initiate on him? Nope. By the way, Syllabear has the Radiant finish with 100 CS. And it looks like they might try to be Roshaning it up. I'm not sure whether to get it off.
You took the words right out of my mouth, and I have to say, Enigma's gone for a Blink Dagger. I don't agree with this choice versus Syllabear that's rushing a Radiance. And you could tell he's rushing Radiance because he has absolutely no items for the first 15 minutes of the game. As long as that bear's alive, Enigma should never be able to get a good Blink Black Hole off. Unless he's able to kill the bear and then do it. So I'm not sure that was the correct item choice. I think more tanky items, or maybe even a Force Staff would have been better.
Yeah.
Of course, Windrunner is a Force Staff, so that can help him position.
I'm definitely a fan of a tanky Enigma in this case. Whether it's going to be a Vanguard Enigma, whether it's going to be what's that other item? A Sage Enigma. Don't underestimate Sage. It gives you more HP than the actual Vanguard does. Of course, not the regen, not the damage block. But you can actually upgrade it into a Heaven's Halberd, which is pretty decent against the Syllabear as well.
Can you use that on the Spirit Bear?
Yes, you can. Or you should be able to. Yeah.
I mean, he's still going to be doing the Radiance burn damage. Of course,
I mean, that's 40 a second. That's not really a big deal, to be honest.
Yeah, especially once you have a pipe and a mechanism. Chen already with the mechanism. Looks like nobody working on a pipe yet. And I think they really need one. I mean, you're talking about Ancient Apparition, Queen of Pain, Puck, and Tidehunter. Again, a ton of magical damage plus the Radiance burn damage. They desperately need a pipe, but they're nowhere near it. I think if they're ever able to get one, that'll make the Radiant almost entirely reliant on the Syllabear's right clicks. Meanwhile, Nadahack's able to TP out of a bad situation bottom.
And, I mean, also, the thing is you can't really heal against that lineup because the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast, depending when it hits, will shut down Chen's healing mechanism, the Mecha and the Hand of God. So that's going to be a little bit rough here. They are working with a 4-kill lead, and they are going to get themselves a Roshan. They are catching 3 or 4 guys on the top lane here for Dignitas. No mid tower for them to TP to. So this Roshan is free. So on the other end here, Dignitas is going to try to capitalize by taking a tier 1 tower. I think Epidemic very happy to take that trade.
It's actually taking quite a while for Epidemic to bring this down, but I agree with you. A tier 1 tower for a Roshan, definitely good to give up the tier 1 tower and get the Aegis. Let's see who's going to pick up. It's going to be the Windrunner.
Huh. Very interesting. I thought Kunkka might have made a better choice, but Kunkka farming on the bot lane. They're going to take a tier 2 tower, so it's not even a trade. Kunkka just flat out gets that tower. He does have the Shadow Blade finish, and he's going for crits. He's going for crits. This is some big Kunkka play here. No defense being mounted out here on the top lane for the Dire squad. Now, here we go. The entire guy smoked up. Where's Kunkka? He's going to pour it in. He's going to pour it into tier 1 tower. You got to wait for the Kunkka to actually get in, but the team fight is going to break out. Tidehunter is going to find a couple of guys here. He's going to blow the Ravage. Is he going to blow it up? He's going to blow it up. He's going to have to Ravage him. Kratos does have to age Ravage before he dies. Gets 2 hero. Kratos is going to go down, but here comes the big boat. I got a boat! And that's going to hit everyone! My goodness!
Oh, Amazing team fight from Epidemic. Double Wildkins in the background with the tornadoes doing so much damage. And you can see the power of that ghost ship plus black hole. If you're ever able to land a good black hole, the ghost ship is going to clean everyone up along with that Tidebringer, as well as the torrent. So that was very impressive. And I have to say,
so what did you say about
a bit of a blunder by Syllabear not scouting more with his bear for the Enigma.
What did we say about the Blink Dagger not good on Enigma? Apparently, the perfect item in that case. Blinked in for a black hole.
If you can get it off, it's fantastic.
Yeah, and also
I think Syllabear could still counter that, but the Dire with good initiation with that smoke really catching the Radiant by surprise, I think.
I mean, Crane just played that perfectly. Like any other occasion, we'll be screaming he's out of position, but he used the fact that he does have the Aegis and just baited out a couple of guys surrounding him. And after that, it was, pretty easy Enigma Black Hole, and then the bow. 500 damage and a stun. It's a pretty imbalanced spell if you're looking on paper. And here's all the tier 2 tower being brought down. The Dire squad up by a lot of gold. Yeah, we're up by 8,000 gold in this case here. Up by 8 kills as well. And I think Dire looking to close out this game. It is up to Dignitas to make some big comeback here. And Syllabear is a very capable hero doing comebacks, but we'll see whether he can actually do it.
He has been completely shut down, though. Ever since about the 19-minute mark when he picked up his Radiance, really has been no item progression for him. He's been forced to sit with this team a lot because they can't win a fight without him, as he is their primary source of physical damage. And of course, just their main source of damage in general, I would say. There's a sort of a one-shot burst of nukes, and then it's all up to Syllabear to clean up. It didn't help that he got caught by the black hole there, so I gotta say, I think Syllabear needs to be a little more careful with his hero's positioning. And look to leave the bear in the front lines. But again, that's what smoke is good for, getting those initiations.
Uh-oh.
Syllabear might be getting caught out here.
And Ty doesn't have the Ravage here. I'm surprised that Dignitas decides to push with that happening. Here we go. Queen of Pain comes in. Another huge bow. And that's going to hit the bear. They're going to focus on Sizzle. One more hit away here. Queen of Pain very low. Going to blink out for now. A big cluster F. And now Dignitas come with me by himself. He's going to get brought down. One more hit. Yes, there's a blink kill here. 2 for nothing so far. Women is somehow surviving that. Coco trying to run now. He does not have blink. He's going to get stunned in. I don't think Enigma's going to get the kill here. Actually, they're gonna, well, 2 support hitting each other. That's like 2 girls having catfight. Nothing really happens. Actually, Coco's gonna go down. Meanwhile, we have a Queen of Pain trying to go out of jungle on the north, and she's gonna make it out there.
So I have to say, we were talking about counters for the Syllabear. It's looking like Kunkka can be a pretty decent one because, of course, the Tidebringer ignores his high base armor if you hit another unit. So that cleave being extremely devastating.
That's one of those things.
Syllabear lost like 2/3 of his health from 1 crit there.
I mean, that's one of those things that's really good on paper, but in a team fight, it's like, okay, let me line up.
This ain't paper, man. We're watching this live, so it appears to be working for Epidemic.
Let's line up a creep to make sure Syllabear's behind to get that crit off.
You say paper, but they say, hey, we're winning this game. We want to be going to the best of 3, deciding match to see who makes it into the pool for the actual tournament. Looks like Puck gonna be dropping here. Can't TP out versus that X marks the spot. Doesn't even need it in the end. And this is gonna probably, they might look to push. I'm not sure if they can push mid. Probably gonna back off. Black hole is up, so maybe the Dire City on piles of gold in general. Ultimate orb as well as 1,400 gold up on the Windrunner. Enigma looks like he'll be going for the BKB. Great choice. The only thing that would go through it is the Entangle, but of course you can't count on that. Meanwhile, huge action mid.
Asian Apparition Ice Blast, that is gonna hit. No, Leon gets 1 kill here. Vengeful Spirit, where the hell did she go? Vengeful Spirit somehow made it out alive by TP. They traded, or Puck was dead here, but Chen is dead for a bit, and that's gonna be tier 2. Yeah, that's gonna be a tier 2 attempt at the very least. And Black Hole is up, so is the boat, but I think the tower is gonna go down on the top lane regardless. And that's a slight victory here for the Radiant squad. I'm not too sure why Dignitas is just diving mid, trying to finish this game. They actually did that earlier when Ty Ravage was down as well. Now Ravage is back up and it makes a little bit more sense. But it seems like they were very anxious to end this game early.
Yeah, and it's very hard to go high ground against these Dire heroes. You've got Swap to initiate, you've got Shackle Shot to potentially disable 2 heroes, Blink Black Hole.
X is initiate, to be honest.
X is great initiation as well, and then you've got the boat. I mean, that choke point in the mid ramp is exactly where the Dire wants to fight. It's right in their wheelhouse, so I don't think they should try to fight that, and they are going to back off in the end. Not only that, but they're also very far behind right now in terms of item progression, especially on the supports. We see Ancient Apparition with just a Bracer trying to finish his treads, tied with just a Bracer, Wand, and Boots. And Puck finally picking up his Blink Dagger, although at this point I'm not sure how much it really matters.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Do you think that Blink Dagger might not be the best item here? I'm actually go tanky Puck here because
Well, your team, I mean, honestly, I think something... Do they even have a mechanism? I don't think they do.
Ravage is going to be dropped. Ancient Aberration. Ice Blast comes in right now. Crane is going to go down. Enigma's going to go down. That's a team fight they need to win. Nice swap out here, but he's going to go Shatter still here. Puck gets a double. Ven trying to run out. He pops his drum, but he's not going to be quick enough. Oh, he couldn't run out from that, but this bench... Fastest Nightly. Any procs? Any procs? Any procs? No procs.
Oh, that poor Venge. Where's Kunkka when you need him? Oh, he's on the other team, unfortunately. So that's not going to work out. But I don't. Speaking of teams being overly eager to end the game, I have no idea what the Dire is doing. They were sitting on a 10k gold lead. Pretty decent late game lineup when you're so far ahead. I mean, I said I didn't think they could win it late, but you know that was assuming that it was an even game, and so far it's been mostly in their favor. Of course, Windrunner getting close to a Hex, very decent counter. You know, to really all of the Radiant heroes who are pretty squishy aside from the Syllabaire. So I don't know why they felt such an urgent need to end it, but they paid for it. I mean, Enigma cannot be charging in when you don't have vision, especially when he's going for this black hole this blink style build instead of a tankier build.
They did have visions on the high ground. They were looking for a gank on Coco, and if they brought it off, that would have been it. But that was a very gank deep in the enemy jungle territory. And of course, the Radiant responded immediately. Coco dropped off the Ravage, well worth it. But yeah, the more important thing here is that Syllabare's up to almost 3k gold. So that would be a completed hood and well towards the pipe if he wants to go for it. A double Sentry Ward being dropped down just in case one wasn't enough. Make sure to see any double Invis heroes.
I was thinking that there should be an Aghanims upgrade for Stealth Assassin where you can only see him with a gem. It looks like Zizou might be dropping here. This is a very dead H version, probably the deadest one I've ever seen. But they should really just let him go and forfeit that. Looks like they are going to. Dire are going to be continuing to chase. I don't think they're going to catch anyone. Of course, the Radiant very hard to track down, especially the Puck and the Queen of Pain.
Here we go. The push will be coming towards the midday. Enigma is going for the tanky Enigma build, just getting every HP item in the game. And here comes all those summons. Eidolons, the Skeleton Warriors.
Oh, are there any Sentry Wards here? If Puck gets a 5-man, a Dream Coil,
that would be pretty good.
Huge.
But no Ravage. That's the thing. Ravage was used earlier, 15 seconds. So they gotta just have the tower take some damage. Did you have a glyph still? I believe Puck's invisibility is running out very, very soon. Should be enough time. This has got to be the best coordination we have ever seen. Here comes the Dream Coil. Dream Coil just on 2, and they're gonna force staff out. Venge is gonna take the short end of the stake. They're willing to give up the Venge. Here comes the big bolt on 2 at the very least, and oh my goodness, 500 damage and a stun. No black hole necessary there, and it looks like the bear was able to be resummoned back, but
talk about a good time to get a crit. Tidehunter dying from full health.
Did he really?
Yeah, he died instantly to Tidebringer there. That was a good time to crit. Ended up costing his life, but Kunkka being really over-aggressive here. He's probably going to die to the bear, almost certainly.
Yep.
And this is going to be a chase going the other way. There's no escaping the Spear Bear with Rabbit as well as Phase Boots. Pretty much impossible to run away from. He's running through Chen. Oh, a nice shackle shot. That might actually be what they need to escape.
Yeah, they lost the Chen, not the biggest loss, but that entangled right on Kunkka under the tower, so Shadowblade would not have done anything there, given the vision, and well, the rest was history. So somehow Dignitas defended that. They were not supposed to defend against that, and I think they could actually get themselves back in the game by pushing a couple of creep waves down in the deep enemy territory and then prepare for the next Roshan. It's gonna be an uphill fight, but hey, Spearbear is picking up onto a Hyperstone and a Plate Mail. I do believe this is a true way to play Syllabaire. Stack up that bear, not like the last Syllabaire that we saw. That was a little bit strange.
Support bear, perhaps not as effective. Of course, this bear is having an easier time getting the farm. Had a little bit of a better start with that tri-lane, but nonetheless, at this point, he's dominating. And, you know, really making a nice comeback here for Dignitas. One other point, as far as the Kunkka in that last fight, it seemed like he's out of position, but he does have a Vengeful Spirit on his team. Unfortunately, she died before that push continued. So maybe, you know, forgetting that the Venge wasn't there to swap him out if he got into harm's way. And that might have been what caused him to die. Not really sure, but in any case, that's certainly a possibility. Bear going to be initiated on Shackle Shot's not going to latch. Looks like a big Ravage coming out here. There is no follow-up yet. H-Type Version going to hit 2 heroes, but not before Chen drops the mechanism. Looks like Dream Coil going to pick him up. Queen of Pain continuing the chase. Spirit Bear going crazy. Can we see a taggle on the Enigma? Not yet.
Wow,
pretty big fight there. They might see Rax now.
Yeah, over-eager initiation by the Vengeful Spirit. Swap this Lone Druid, which was a great idea. In fact, the Tidehunter, though, was right there. Dropped the Ravage, cutting off any avenue of offense against the Syllabare, and the rest was history. Which, by the way, Veil Discord here on the Queen of Pain, and that made all the difference in that last team fight and the one in the Rack's defense. And
of course, like I've been saying, you know, Scourge still does not have a pipe. I think that's a big mistake. Looks like, I mean, Windrunner going for that. Oh, well, meanwhile, Big Boat into the pit is going to come with me. Roshan quite low. One hit cleave.
It looks like Kunkka, he is silenced up right now against Veil of the Scorpion. Use Sonic Wave, missing. Power Shot's gonna get the hill. Aegis is gonna get picked up by Come With Me. You gotta keep in mind, he does not respawn back in human form, so if he's stunned right now, he'd be dead without the HP bonus. Is gonna go bear form. Okay, don't go bear form. Okay, he does. But now the chase is gonna go on Kunkka. Kunkka very, really low. He's gonna Shadow Blade out, trying to get a crit in return. And I think it's hard to say who won that team fight. Syllabare did end up getting the Aegis, but he lost a good deal of his team in doing so. So very difficult to call how this game's going. I can't say who's in the lead.
Well, according to the gold graph, it's been a good couple of minutes for the Radiant. Of course, that's not the only thing to consider here. In terms of the item progression on the supports for the Radiant, which has really been where they're struggling, we see Tidehunter still nowhere near picking up a Blink Dagger. I don't even know if... it would probably be worth it on him, just because he has been pretty survivable recently, and it would give him great initiation. Enigma does have the BKB. Big pickup for him. If he's ever able to land a good black hole, I think it's lights out for the Sentinel. And of course, their tier 2 towers are all down, for both teams. So anyone winning a big fight should be able to push into the base unless there's buybacks available. And that's something that you definitely have to be looking towards at this point. Syllabare sitting on 1700, not spent it yet, has picked up the Assault Cuirass. I think at this point he needs to save for buyback as well as keep that bear alive. It is on cooldown again. It's almost dead here. Might be getting ganked top.
No, he does know it's coming, so he's going to TP out. Windrunner just finished that Hex, so that's a very reliable stunning return. And with that BKB on Enigma, the only thing that will be able to cancel his Black Hole is a Entangle proc on the bear, which not something you'd like to count on if you're getting massive disabled by 4 seconds.
And of course, if the bear walks into the black hole and isn't able to get next to Enigma, then he can't attack. So definitely not the best counter, but it is a possibility. It depends on how Enigma positions the black hole.
I am a fan of the Tidehunter picking up a blink here, just simply for the fact that the puck has a blink as well. Blink's one of those items that the more you have it, if your teammate has one and you have one, like the power, you know, more than doubles. I hope that makes sense. Like it's like Necrobook. The more you have it, the better they all are. In conjunction. I hope that Radiance is turned off. You don't want the Radiance aura to actually tip off anyone coming in. But I think Dark Ring still somehow knows he's going to go into trees and TP out. So Smoke Gang not being successful, and the rest of the squad just, you know, safely sitting behind their towers and base.
Kunkka not saving for buyback. He did pick up a plate mail, and he doesn't have enough. I really don't like this choice. Same with the Windrunner. So if the Dire loses a fight, they are not going to be able to defend their base. The Radiant probably don't know this, but if they have an inkling of it, it would be a great time for them to try to push. Well,
I think Kranich picking up the Hex makes sense because it is a very game-changing item. Not plate mail, not so much. I think I would have saved it, saved for the buyback just to make sure. And
I mean, I like the item choice. I believe he'll be going for an Assault Cuirass, which has great synergy with all of his physical damage, as well as the Vengeful Spirit's Howl, and of course the Medallion on the Venge. So they have actually some pretty crazy minus armor. And I think that's probably all we'll see. Maybe if the game goes really late, someone will pick up a Desolator. That
Syllabare bear might be initiated upon. That was a smoke 1,000 miles across the map. They were trying to use a bot wave to bait out a couple of guys, but
looks like Dire might want to be ending they want to end the game here from the looks of it, or at least thinking about it. They're going to be on the high ground across the valley here from the Sentinel bottom tier 3. Not sure if they should go for this fight. It's very hard to initiate into it unless you can get a good black hole, but Sentinel doing the smart thing in terms of positioning. You want to have that Tidehunter, the puck, all these squishy heroes back from the Syllabare, have the Spirit Bear out in front, and make sure that you don't group up for a black hole.
Yeah, we were talking about the lack of item progressions here for the Radiant. And Dire, they have a little bit more items, but not so much as well. There's some mecha up on Chen, and that's pretty much it. And a Veil of Discord on the Venge, but yeah, we were still missing that pipe. That pipe would have just made huge differences in these team fight. Unfortunately,
I believe you mean a Medallion, not a Veil of Discord, but either way.
Sorry, a Medallion Courage. But now Syllabare has a pipe. That's gonna make a difference, not the biggest deal, because it's still the biggest DPS output is physical, coming in from the Dire side.
This bear is zooming around at max move speed. It's the power of those phase boots plus Rabid. But he's going to be TPing out, which means the whole team needs to beat the hasty retreat back to the base. The pipe is completed on the Lone Druid. Finally, someone gets it. And I think the choice could not have been better. Syllabair is so hard to bring down. Unless Kunkka hits a Tidebringer on him, he's very durable. And of course, the pipe going to help a lot against the, like you said, the high magical damage of the Ghost Ship, as well as the Black Hole doing a decent amount. I mean, not the highest magical damage coming out for the Scourge, but I think it's still a good choice. Also makes the hero more survivable, which is important, just because you want that bear to stay alive and keep on doing right clicks.
I mean, if he didn't have AC, I would have said go AC first, but he does. He has AC on the bear, which actually might be a time to actually translate over to the bear. There's gonna be one time in the game where your actual hero is probably better to hold off the item. I don't think we're approaching that point just yet, because this bear is still doing a lot of right click power, especially like that bear could actually bring down supports by himself. But for you guys that are playing Syllabair in public games, approaching like the 45 to 50 minutes, that's when you actually want to transfer your items over back to your main hero.
Yeah, and there's two reasons for that. The first one is at a certain point the hero is just tankier than the bear because he's got much higher base armor, and eventually his HP pool gets bigger. And the other reason is that you don't have to worry about resummoning it. So if the bear ever dies with the Assault Cuirass,
you don't lose 1k go or 11k go item, you know, for the team fight.
It's a bit of an unfortunate thing to happen in a big team fight. Bear going to be wailing away on the tower here, but he's actually not that durable. Yep. He's going to just drop.
That's what we're talking about. It's in a late game situation.
And this is the Kunkka is starting to become a real problem for the Syllabair, especially when the Radiant is trying to go on the offensive. The fights it seems like the fights that the Radiant win are where they either catch the Dire out or the Dire try to initiate. But when they can sort of sit back on the high ground with that long range Tidebringer damage as well as just all the AoE, it really gives the Dire an easier time to bring down the Bear and just be very aggressive. So. Looks like the Radiant going to be backing off. We're in quite a stalemate here. This game is turning into the Cold War slowly but surely.
Yeah, I'm also very surprised that Kunkka did not go for Black King Bar. I mean, look at the AoE ultimates from the Radiant side. Yes, Black King Bar is pierceable by the Entangle, but still, look at 4 magical ultimates and a Veil of Discord on top of that. Like a BKB would work wonders here, but you know he's going for AC. Don't think I'm a big fan of that choice. So let's do yet another go check and EXP check. We're still sitting around 2k go difference, which is, you know, no difference at all. EXP not the biggest lead. Meanwhile, item wise, not too many item progressions here or there either. So this is a stalemate, and outside of one team being horribly out of position and not saving for buyback, I don't think the game is going to be going anywhere for a while.
Yeah, Roshan not up yet, but he will be respawning fairly shortly. I guess Syllabair, one of the best carries to have if the game goes really late, just because he has 12 item slots.
Well, you're never gonna feel like.
Of course, you're probably never gonna fill them. If the game goes for 80 or 90 minutes, you might start to get to that point. But theoretically, pretty good. At this point, though, I would say he's. I don't know. I feel like the Kunkka might be starting to
wane a little bit
more. Yeah, just because that Tidebringer is not reduced by armor.
Well. Oh, you're saying that he's gonna get stronger here?
Yeah, I mean, I think if he
gets BKB, yes.
I think Kunkka will be stronger.
I say the bear,
especially if the items are sitting on the Spirit Bear. It's just not durable at all. We saw it drop almost instantly. I think if the items are on the hero, a little bit harder to bring down, a little bit more survivable. But of course, that means your hero has to be in the front lines, and even Syllabair does not really want to be in the front lines against all these initiators.
Right. The reason why Syllabair is such a good pusher is not because, well, the Demolish really helps, but the fact that you could send in a 2700 HP hero, a unit, just to actually whack on the tower a little bit, and then he takes a little bit more damage, resummon him back, do that again a couple of times, and the tower doesn't regen HP, your bear does. So that's, you know, you can whittle down towers very slowly. And generally in earlier points of the game, like that bear alone cannot be brought down. So that's the big thing as well. The bear being sent back to pick up an item or to just heal up? I think just to heal up. So yeah, gonna keep on farming more item. We're up to 3k here for Lone Druid. What do you think his next item choice would be?
Actually, let me see. Can I bring up the list of items here? I'm trying to think what would make sense. I mean, normally you go for some sort of, you know, pushing type. I mean, a Necronomicon 3 might not be bad. Maybe some minus armor, like a Desolator. Or I think even a Manta style would be good, because then you can siege the enemy base. Of course, I think the main thing he needs to save for is buyback. He apparently disagrees. He's going to be spending his gold. Looks like it might be a Necronomicon or maybe a Sanjay.
Spot something is a Skull Basher. Okay.
Oh, go for the Basher. Not a terrible choice.
I mean, again, 2D throw it on here. You gotta just throw it on your hero, right?
I mean, that's putting even more gold on the bear. So I think he's really getting to the point where he needs to have the items on the hero. Of course, Basher is pretty decent on Syllabear, especially at this stage of the game with the Assault Cuirass, because he attacks so fast with Rabid, as well as the lowered base attack time of the hero that he gets from being in the bear form.
Syllabear gets initiated.
Like might get initiated.
Yeah, not the best chain stun, but it's gonna do. But the double blink comes in, Ravage and Dream Coil, Veil Discord. No BKB. The entire Diacron just melts. Here comes a bolt. So late. Coco's gonna get brought down regardless. No, there was a BKB on Kunga. What am I saying? You see that? You see what I mean? They're gonna win the team fight now, just because they have BKB.
Clearly listening into the stream there, and you know, I gotta say the Syllabear being a little bit out of position, and of course that BKB on the Enigma so huge. Even though he only caught the Syllabear in the ultimate, it really didn't matter. Or I believe he only caught the Syllabear. It was enough because they were able to keep him locked down, and at this point he's just all of their damage, especially at the BKB on the Enigma, as well as the Kunkka. It's just very hard for them to do any damage when the Syllabear is disabled. And Skull Basher not going to do a whole lot for you if you're in Black Hole. Or if it's going to cost them the game. I don't see them coming back at this point.
Or if the Skull Basher is sitting in the fountain doing nothing, that's not going to help either.
Coco ready to end the game. Roshan, of course, as he always seems to do, conveniently respawning for the Dire right now. So good timing on the push there, especially if you have a successful push. It's always good to try and push like a minute or two before Roshan. If you're not confident, you can just get it straight out, because it'll allow you to have the creep equilibrium constantly being in your favor, especially in the middle lane. So we'll see. It looks like Radiant is aware of this, wants to defend it. I don't think they're going to be able to get the Roshan. Ravage is on cooldown. Puck ultimate is up again. But of course his ultimate is not the biggest deal in the world, especially at this point of the game.
Yeah, when I saw the double blink in, I was like, okay, Dignitas is going to take this fight, but the BKB just made a huge difference. That was constant 6 or 7 seconds where the Kunkka was just doing big DPS, and that's 2 Tidebringer slashes. That's huge damage, considering that, you know, you are ignoring armor, you are splashing a big AoE, and he is dealing big damage at this point right now. What is this damage? 300 per splash? That ignores armor? Jesus.
And that's not adding the, well, actually I guess that is counting the Tidebringer, but of course there is some minus armor there, as well as it ignoring armor if he's, like you mentioned, a big team fight breaking out here. Ghost Ship gonna hit 2 heroes, that's 2 dead heroes.
Oh, X?
Looks like the Radiant is completely getting dominated here.
No X.
Syllabear still going, looking to deal some damage out, and I'm not sure if he might actually be able to win this fight. There's no black hole to keep him locked down. Syllabear, of course, is a lot scarier when he's wailing away at you and not being chain stunned. We might see Chen go down if there is an entangle. Ravage is up again. Big Ravage there. No black hole yet. It's got the longest cooldown in the world. Or certainly one of the longest in the game. It looks like the bear going to be chasing Windrunner. Not going to pick him off. Will this turn into a tower push? They don't have the creeps to do it, so I think they're just going to have to back off. Might try to Roshan, but Black Hole will be up by that point. So I don't know if they're really going to get a whole lot out of this fight, even though they want it by a little bit.
Syllabear just,
or at least on paper,
just tanks everything. He did not have the Basher in that fight. Oh, boy, it would have made a big difference if he did. And now here comes the other side. Kunkka is looking for an X. He has not leveled up that X, so the cast range is very low, but when you have your teammates extending it for you, that will do it. Big crit here.
They're going to get caught out, and he's going to drop.
And that means the Roshan.
They're just going to let him go.
This means the Roshan right here.
And of course with Kunkka in the minus armor, once Avenge gets over here, he's going to drop really quickly. Still dropping pretty fast.
I wonder who's going to pick it up here. Is it going to be Kranich still? Is it going to be the Enigma? All are very valid choices. This dropped the La Fromage, the cheese, because we are in the 3rd incarnation of Roche. Come with me, goes into human form, and then back to bear form.
Going back into... I have no idea what he's doing, but Queen of Pain with the huge ultimate there, actually hitting 3 heroes. Nice shackle shot though, locking Syllabear down. Kranich trying to do the damage to Syllabear. Syllabear medallion on him. He's going to drop really quickly, and at this point it just seems like he can't stay alive. Even if he had the items on the hero, I don't think it would matter too much. Queen of Pain probably going to get brought down. Oh, nice blink there. Might be able to escape. I say nice blink, but you know, press W, click away. Probably not the hardest thing in the world, but either way, I don't think it's gonna matter. We do. Did they lose the Aegis in that fight? No, it's still up on Kranich. He did get sent back to base. He's running back mid now. And Syllabear dead for 60 seconds.
Yep.
The Bear on cooldown for 80. So Bear has all the items. Nothing they can do to defend at this point. Pretty sure this is going to be 2 sets of racks, if not the game.
And again, conveniently, the creep wave on the top lane here. And they're going to be pushing into that. We saw the effect of BKB in that last engagement. Windrunner was down to about 25% HP. 20% HP against the Queen of Pain. She popped the BKB, and Queen of Pain just had to run. Like, there was no way that she's gonna kill the low Windrunner with the BKB turned on. So BKB just shuts down the Radiant squad, especially with Syllabears not accounted for in a fight like this. Tower is very, very low, and I think will be brought down here. Kunkka actually not walking in, or maybe waiting for that BKB to cool down in a couple of seconds. Here's a Blink Ravage here, getting everyone Veiled Discord and a Sonic Wave. That's gonna do it for one support. Kranich is gonna get the hell out of Torrent, and it's gonna miss. Are they going to keep on fighting
some
this?
hero blocking from Coco, kind of hurting Leon's ability to chase. He is going to be blinking shortly, but I think this Windrunner
they can fight this. They have Torrent both.
Okay.
And the Black Hole is going to come in. Enigma, he's walking. It's just going to walk in, and a Black Hole and a bow. Everyone's dead. Not a Hex is caught. There's an X on top of him. If he ever wants to use Hex, that would be a decent spell. No.
It's really not going to matter. Looks like Chen buys back, heals the team up. That should be the game. All the big ultimates are cooldown for the Radiant, and I don't think they can win a straight fight here. Syllabear is going to get his bear back. He's still not transferring the items to the main hero. I guess it doesn't matter because neither of them is going to be survivable enough. As we do see him dropping quite rapidly. Torrent going to hit. That's probably going to be a dead Syllabear. You see, the Tidebringer doesn't do nearly as much damage when it's targeted directly onto the hero, but it's still quite a bit. Going to force the bear back. Not sure why the Dire was forcing the fight. I think they should have just gone for the racks.
Yeah, I don't think the swap was necessary. Sure, you could take 100 damage per second here with the bear, but if you could bring down racks, that would be way worth it. The racks fairly exposed, but instead they just took the team fight, so it might be showing a little bit of inexperience from Epidemic. I think that they could have closed the game right then and there, but giving Dignitas yet another chance, in my opinion.
At this point in the game, the game becomes a lot about initiation and positioning, and so far it just seems like even though the Radiant are getting that initiation off, they just don't have enough follow-up to get quick kills. And of course we saw the Aegis of Immortal being absolutely huge. Windrunner probably would have gone down there without accomplishing too much, but having that second life allowed her to set up her team. So it turned out to be a nice bait. You have to be very careful about when you pick those fights against a team with an Aegis.
Here comes Dignitas pushing the mid lane a little bit. We are seeing.
Looks like it. Oh, sorry.
We are seeing about 900, 800 go away from a Hex from the Queen of Pain. Not sure how big of a difference it would make, but if you could Hex a very important target like Kunkka and get a quick kill on him, that might be it. Or that Venge, that pesky Venge though, always getting that swap.
Yeah, was able to hit level 16, and since then has been, very effective.
Again.
You see the range that you're talking about there. They go for the bear. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but not a bad choice because it is really stacked. Tidehunter brings it, can't do anything. It's going to drop the Tidebringer there. We're probably going to see Lone Druid going down. Lone Druid is going to drop. That should be the game. I cannot see Dignitas coming back after this fight. Do they have buyback on anyone? I don't believe they do.
Tidehunter blinked in. 3 people turned on BKB. Tidehunter was confused. His ultimate was definitely off cooldown, but it was like, I can't use my ult because everyone's BKB'd up, and a team fight followed the other way with the entire squad blinking into terrible positioning. Kunkka, the pirate, will have the last laugh on the day against the Tidehunter. I mean, this is why I guess they picked it. Just for the, anti-Tide. They got some rivalry going on, and they definitely won that one.
Well, the guy with the big water sword is definitely winning the day for his team. Of course, with the minus armor from Assault Caress, as well as that, what's it called? The Windrunner ultimate, going to be burning down these buildings very quickly here. Focus fire. So, Epidemic are your winners. That was kind of a surprise to me. I feel like they played a little bit better in the early game, and they had the heroes who were not as level dependent. But the mid-game fights, I was surprised at some of the positioning and choices that Dignitas made.
There's your endgame stream. I hope you guys enjoyed this broadcast. I think we are going to be coming back with the best of 3 series between Dare and Epidemic. Don't quote me on that, but stay tuned and hope you guys enjoy the game. I will go listen to I Am on a Boat just for Kunkka. Thanks for watching.